listener production.
Welcome to the Weekend Briefing, where we hit pause on the headlines and chat with people making waves. I'm Antoinette Lattouf. This week, Maddy MacRae. She spent years chasing acting gigs and facing rejection, only to find fame on TikTok instead. So pre-COVID, she was broke, in debt, and juggling service jobs while auditioning. Then lockdown boredom led to posting videos from the perspective of her stomach. Yep, really. And suddenly millions of followers. Now she's writing her own acting roles for her skits, landing TV acting jobs on her own terms, dodging the Aussie influencer hate train, and also wondering, are dating diaries still funny when you're actually happy? Later in the show, it's weekend list time, the ultimate must-know guide for what to watch, see, do, eat and listen to. Trust me, you won't want to miss that. First, my chat with Maddy MacRae. Maddy, welcome to the Weekend Briefing.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
So you say that being a TikTok sensation wasn't on your bingo card. So what is on your bingo card?
I mean, actually, that's quite funny because bingo cards is trending this year about how to get your goals. People are writing bingo cards, so it's funny that you mentioned that.
Trending on TikTok?
It has been trending on TikTok that like to create your goal list for 2025 is to actually write a bingo card, and you can actually play a game with your goals. It's quite funny.
Just the new
New Year's resolution via
Okay.
bingo card.
Okay.
TikToking was not on my bingo card. I am an actor. And so I was training as an actor in my early 20s, and that was on my bingo card. But COVID hit and I was not working. Well, I was an out-of-work actor when I say that I was an actor. I was not working as an actor, and my retail job closed. And so I was just really bored in COVID and started making TikToks for fun. I had no idea that it was a job and that people could do this full time.
Yep.
6 months later, I had quit my job in retail and was doing it full time, which is absolutely insane.
What else is absolutely insane to me is that somebody who puts themselves out there so much online describes himself as an extroverted introvert.
Yes.
What is that?
I feel like I'm an extroverted person once I'm in a social environment and I can really turn it on. But I do really enjoy being alone and staying at home. And so I think that's where the introverted part comes from. You know how extroverts, they recharge by being in social situations and chatting to people and being amongst their friends. And I do love my friends. But the way I recharge is to be alone, spend time doing all of my kind of hobbies and daily routine. So in that sense, I'm an introvert, but once I'm in a social situation, I can definitely turn it on. And the person who I am online is definitely extroverted, but I would say that I'm more of an introvert.
You alluded to COVID-19 changing everything for you. At the time, you had a pretty big debt that you were working to pay off.
Yeah.
At what point did you go, hey, I can make some money from this and I can pay off my debts?
It was kind of a crazy year. 2022 was when it really, really took off for me. I was in, I would say like $15,000 worth of credit card debt. I was in a really toxic relationship maybe like a year or two before. And I'd just gotten stuck in credit card debt, as you do. And I was working part-time, so I felt like I couldn't catch up, and I was on this race to pay off this debt and I just couldn't get there. And February 2022 is when my very first stomach skit was posted, and I got 22 million views on that video, which was insane. And I got so much excited. So many people have seen me. That's insane. 22, that's the population of Australia, right? Yeah. So insane. And I had a DM in my Instagram from a management company who was like, hey, would you like to do brand partnerships? And I was like, oh, I didn't even know this was a thing. And I remember my first partnership was for like $850, which for me was really, really exciting.
I shouldn't laugh at that amount because, I mean, that's a week's earnings for many people. But in the scheme of what you can earn on social media, obviously didn't realise that was
no idea.
The low end.
Yeah, yes. I had no idea that was at the low end. So it was paid for $850. And within a couple of months, I think within 3 months, I was earning the same amount through social media that I was earning in my part-time retail job. It was like for like the same amount of money. And I was like, oh my God, I think I can do this full time. And by that point, I'd paid off the credit card. I'd cancelled the credit card and I wasn't allowed a credit card anymore because I was just, I just wanted to be smart with my money. So probably within 3 months of that very first viral video, I realized that this is like pretty lucrative, this job. Oh, a slice of bread. Welcome to the stomach. You must be the carbs before a big night of... there's the alcohol. An espresso martini. Good start. We love to see... another espresso martini. Up. Like we needed more caffeine in here. A vodka cranberry. That's odd. Okay, well, a vodka lime and soda, that's all right. We're on the bodies, it's safe, we're staying with the same type of alcohol. A glass of wine. Less safe. Bad pairing, I think. Vodka, coffee and wine. And then a margarita. Someone call the legs, tell them not to open. This is a weird mix in here. A beer. Ariana, what are you doing here? The guy, I'm so good. Oh my God, tequila. Hi. Well, are you coming in or what? I don't know if I really want to be here. We can't just dance around at the entrance. You're either in or you're out. And I'd really rather that you weren't out because she's in the middle of the bar and that would be a big fucking mess. No, I think I'm going to go. No, you should come in. Okay. Great. No. Oh. Actually, yes. Amazing. No, I think I'm going to go. No. Well, if she's going to go, I want to go. Yeah, me too. All right, everyone, I guess we're leaving. No, everyone. We're all just going to stay put and we're going to have a great time. Oh, no. Everyone, shh. Wait. What is that?
So what is it like listening back to that one?
I mean, it's exciting and fun. I had no idea how much that was going to change my life just because I had this dream. It was like I was falling asleep and I was like, I remember when I was an 18-year-old and I would just have like one piece of bread before drinking so that I could get drunk faster. So silly. And I was like, what if I played the bread? And I was like, that's so silly. I can't personify bread.
Yeah.
But now that's my whole identity online is personifying random objects. And now I personify your period and I play the butthole sometimes. I play the clitoris sometimes.
Yeah.
And I've got like these sex positive skits. And that's my whole personality online is personifying body parts and food and alcohol and inanimate objects. So yeah, it's exciting to listen back to that. 28-year-old Maddy had no idea that I'd be here 3 years later.
That she'd be the stomach girl.
I am the stomach girl. Yeah, that's me.
How do people respond to you on the street? Like, do they identify you as the stomach girl, or what do they see you as?
I think now, because I tried really hard to diversify my content so that I wasn't just pigeonholed into being the stomach girl. So I do a whole bunch of different styles of comedy now. But it's funny because I feel like a lot of people get frightened to approach me. So most of the time it's just kind of like the eyes and like the little whisper to their friend and I just give them a little smile and a wave. But for those who are confident enough to come say hi, it's very exciting. They're just like, hey, love your videos. And it's just awesome. Because I guess like I work from home. I'm in my living room making these skits. And so like you forget that I don't forget that there are people watching me, but it's always nice to have that human connection with them.
And where is most of your following? Like and I'm keen to know like how different countries and cultures respond to your content.
It's very international.
Okay.
I would say a large portion of it is in the US and then in the UK, obviously Australia, and then randomly Germany and India are really big.
Okay.
Very, very, I don't know how I landed in the German space, but Germany, got quite a big following there.
Well, which brings me to one of my favourites, and it would make sense because a lot of your audience is in the United States.
So where are you from? I'm from Australia. Yes! What? Oh, will you do us this one favor? Could you just say the word no? Oh. We just think it's so adorable. No, that's funny. Yeah, it's so adorable. We just think it's really cute the way you guys say it. So cute. Australians don't really say the word
just
the way
one teeny little time. Just say it, please.
The way I speak without people making fun of my accent. Fun of you. We just think it's funny. I'd prefer if you stop asking you. Please, no. I'm rather self-conscious about it. Could you stop? No! Yes! Oh, no.
Love it. And so for those who haven't seen your videos, you obviously play all of the characters. And I want to talk about, there has been a bit of chatter about like, surely it can't be that hard to be an influencer. You just put a video up and then you get paid a lot of money and then you go to all of these awards night and get tickets to everything and get free shit sent to you.
Yeah.
What is your response to the question, is it hard to be an influencer?
That was so funny. I was there and I remember chatting to this journalist about being if it's hard being an influencer. No, it's not hard. In the big scheme of things, we are so lucky to be doing what we do. To set our own kind of schedule. I guess like the discourse online at the moment, especially with this particular influencer, is saying that it is a 24/7 job. Sure, it's like your socials are going 24/7 and you can work 24/7, but you don't have to. That's the beauty of it. Like, I guess like my ideal posting time is midnight. So like sometimes I'm up like replying to comments, but my life is so easy. It's not a hard job. It is the easiest job ever. So I just find it, yeah.
What makes it easy though? Because you're still creative.
Yes,
you're
there
still
is
a trained
work.
actor. You're still putting yourself out there.
Yeah, I guess there is work and time. It's time. It can be time consuming, and I guess when I play all the characters and I do all the editing, yes, there is a lot of work involved, but it doesn't feel like work because I'm just playing characters and being silly.
Yeah.
Pretending to be a slice of bread. Like it's just like it's a lot of fun. And I worked in mostly hospitality for 10 years before I started TikTok. So like working on your feet for 10 hours or that kind of like physical energy required for those kind of jobs, it isn't that in being an influencer. Mentally, it can take a toll on you, especially if there's hate online. Like that can be really big. I think there is.
Have you had a backlash or?
I've been so lucky that I don't get a lot of hate. Occasionally I will get some butthurt men when I make fun of them. I do this series where I like make fun of men not knowing where the clitoris is. And so occasionally I'll get comments where they are not a fan of that, but it doesn't affect me because I'm just like, that's on you, not me.
Yeah.
But that can be difficult, I think, the hate online. And then also what I struggle with sometimes is comparing myself to other influencers and thinking that I'm not doing enough, and kind of like attributing my own like self-worth based on likes. That can be hard mentally.
Yeah.
And I definitely did have a period last year where I was really down because I felt like I wasn't doing enough, that I wasn't growing enough, that I wasn't getting enough engagement on my posts, and I attributed my own self-worth to that. So like mentally it can be difficult that way, but physically it's not a hard job.
Well, you're obviously being recognised for your work. You were up for the Content Creator of the Year in 2024. It didn't go to you. And I know that there is a lot of like social comparisons. You talk about likes comparison. What was it like being in the room with all of the other influencers and seeing who won various categories?
It was mostly an exciting event and it's really nice. It's kind of a little pat on the back, like you've done a really good job. And all of the creators in my year, my category, I'm a big fan of, and I think they've all worked really hard and campaigned really hard. And Bridie ended up winning, and I definitely think she deserves it. I think the problem with being up for an award like that is you are going to be compared to each other. But how can you compare creators that create very different styles of content?
Yes.
Like Bridie creates lifestyle content. Matt and Josh create home design content. Jojo ASMR does ASMR content, and then I'm doing comedy skits. So it's kind of like whose content's better, and it's like, well, that's kind of objective. Is it subjective? Subjective because it's all different. Yeah. We also are campaigning for votes when we all have vastly different following numbers. So it's kind of hard to be. I kind of had to take a step back afterwards and be like, it's not a reflection of your audience, of your content. Like you're still doing good work, but it's hard not to compare yourself when you don't win an award. And that's the second time I've been nominated and the second time I haven't won. So I was like, guys, can you stop nominating me?
You're getting my hopes up.
Please. Because I got nominated for Comedy Creator last year.
Yes.
Didn't win. And then I got upgraded to the Creator of the Year. Didn't win. And I was like, guys, what's going on?
My suggestion is you have to like emulate Kanye next year if you don't win.
That's so
and just
true.
like take the mic and be like, that's rigged and shit.
I should.
That would make for good content.
That would make for good content. I don't know if it would really. I think I'd start getting hate then.
Okay. You know what? Don't take any advice from
I don't want to start with the hate. Let's not do that.
Fair enough.
But I do want to start calling myself the Leo DiCaprio of the TikTok Awards, because you know how he never won an Oscar? Like he kept getting nominated.
Oh, I was just like, what? Do you only date
17-year-olds? Yes, exactly. That's me. And I'd just like to party on a yacht. No, you know how he kept getting nominated for Oscars, and he just kept not winning until he won it for The Revenant, and everyone's like, oh, I don't think that was an Oscar-worthy
okay, so was it like a pity one?
I reckon.
Okay.
I reckon because of all of the times he got nominated before then, they were like, we'll just give it to them. So I reckon a couple of more noms and they'll just give me one.
Okay, but I'd be happy with the pity award.
Yeah, please. Just maybe I'll just make one for myself. I just want a trophy, please.
Sure, fair enough.
They don't give out the play buttons like they do on YouTube. They don't do that on TikTok and Instagram once you hit milestones. And I'm like, guys, I want something on my shelf.
Yeah, no, I get it. Look, I'll make one for you.
Thank you
There's
so
a nice
much.
little trophy place. You get one made for like $24.
I should do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Okay. My Christmas gift to myself.
I'm keen to know how you describe what you do for a living to like an elderly relative or someone who isn't on social. media.
It comes up a lot because they don't understand how I make money. They're just like, what do you mean? Do the people pay you? Like when they watch your videos, when they like you, do they give you money?
You go, I wish.
Please. How does that work? Yeah, it's a hard conversation to have, especially with like my grandparents, because they're like, we just don't get it, but we're happy for you. How would I describe what I do?
You're like, Nan, I act like a piece of bread and
like,
people pay me. Why don't you understand that?
Exactly. I just tell them like I make videos for the internet like a YouTuber, and the way I and I'm playing funny little skits and I show them, and sometimes they find it funny, but I guess it's not really their sense of humor.
No.
And the way that I earn money is occasionally, like, you know how you watch television and there's an ad break and there's commercials? Occasionally I'll do like one specific video for a brand, and that's like an ad break, and they'll pay me just for that one video. And the rest of the videos that I make for free.
And what's the reaction
from them?
Yeah, once you do the explanation.
I think like my parents are really, really supportive and they're so happy. So I guess like their kind of like excitement around it when they explain it to all of my elderly relatives, they're like, oh, it sounds like it must be really exciting. So they're all very excited for me. And I guess because I'm a performer and I've been wanting to be an actor for over 10 years, they're kind of like, I kind of am just on my own little kind of stage. And so they're just very happy for me.
One of the things you say about being able to have so much success in TikTok is that unlike going down the traditional acting route, you don't have to be, rejected by a director because you don't look the right way or say the right things, and that these roles are perfect for you because you write them yourself.
Exactly, yeah.
But are you still vying to get in front of the director and get the role?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I think that like I've had like the last 12 months with being an actor has been really frustrating for me because so many people ask me, they're like, you've got 3.5 million followers online. Surely you're getting cast in TV and film. And I'm like, no, I'm not even getting in the audition room. I'm still not. It's still such a difficult industry, especially in Australia, to get work. There's not a lot of work. And then there's another conversation about how much work there is for women, because there's not a lot of roles for women, and there's so many of us vying for the same roles. And so my relationship with acting is kind of like, well, fine, I won't do it. I don't want to do it anymore because I can't keep knocking at the door that's closed. If it doesn't want me, then I don't want it anymore. And like that was really heartbreaking for me because I've wanted to be an actor since I was 14. And I was just like, I just have to let it go. And I remember crying to my mum and I was like, Mum, I just can't do this anymore. I can't keep auditioning for roles where they don't give you feedback as to why you didn't get it. They just ghost you. I said no to acting. And so with my current social media manager, I just decided to like say yes to every opportunity.
Yeah.
And go down that door and just say like this TikTok social
media. And you got rid of your acting agent.
Yeah. I said bye. I was like, you know what? Thank you so much. It's been great. But I had not booked any work with them, which is not necessarily their fault, you know? And I was just like, I just can't do it anymore. So let's say goodbye to that. Decided to go down this social media road and just kind of like really lean into it. And then maybe 3 months later, I was offered 2 acting roles that are happening later this year. So,
but you had an audition.
No,
you wouldn't.
No, they're just like, well, one of them I did have to audition, and we're still kind of talking about it, but it's like, I think we're like just about to sign the contract, and that's happening later this year. And then the other one, like the job's already happened, but it's not coming out until March of this year. They just literally, I remember I was in line for the Apple store lining up for the iPhone, and my manager called me and was like, they just want to book you. And it was with an actor who I like really highly respected, that I was a big fan of, it's actually insane, this actor. I've always wanted to work with him. And they were just like, yeah, the role's yours. And I just remember crying. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I didn't want it for so long. I wanted it for so long, and then I decided to say no to it, and then the role just came to me anyway.
Think perhaps you started to pretend you don't want it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want it. Whatever. I don't want it.
I don't like you. I don't want it. Whatever.
I don't want to. You know, if you like the boy too hard, he doesn't want you. You know.
Yeah. So, okay. Oh, that's incredibly
really exciting.
So exciting. A little earlier we talked about how you unpacked influencing and how you make money and brands and stuff to your nan and whatnot. I want to know, what are some really weird collaboration requests you've had, or have you ever sat there and had to think, I'll not do these for whatever reason?
Yeah. I am a yes person and I'm a
Okay.
people pleaser. So I have recently had to learn how to say no to some brands because I often say yes and sometimes I shouldn't have.
Okay.
I remember, I guess like the great thing about my style is comedy's really broad and you can kind of make comedy skit about anything. So I can say yes to a lot. But I remember doing a job a couple of years ago, like when I first started for a hair care brand, which is, I work with other hair care brands, but they were very, very specific about what kind of content they wanted me to make, which was such a mistake because it was not in my style. But I've been asked to make content for like an office chair once and I was like, I don't know how to, what? There are like, I guess like some other sites and styles of like adult content that I would say no to only because it would put my account at risk. So those ones I have to be really careful about. I do often advertise vibrators, but only on Instagram because I know that on TikTok they're much stricter about the restrictions.
Right.
And so my account would probably be flagged for that. Trips overseas as well I have to be more careful about because of time and I'm not a travel influencer. So those kind of ones. But really I'm pretty lucky that I can say yes to a lot. Does that kind of answer the question?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, some people are like, I won't do
this
or whatever, or you've said yes to something and then people say you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, no, not really.
Okay.
Not
and
really.
I guess I think, as you say, comedy has more leeway.
Yeah, and I guess also because like the way that my brand partnerships, how the videos actually look, it's still a comedy skit. And so even if you weren't interested in the product, like I've had comments before from men when I advertise makeup, they're like, I know that this video is not for me, but I still enjoyed it because I try to make the skit still something that someone would enjoy, but then work in the product at the same time. So yeah, I'm pretty lucky with how I can. It's not like I'm being like, hi guys, let me try this new product. And,
Yeah.
And the whole thing is really addy. I can still make a funny skit about it.
So it's great that comedy gives you leeway for brands and that, so far it's all worked well for you and you haven't had that sort of backlash. But more about your content. Have you ever regretted a video you've put out there into the world or decided, that's not right and taken it down?
Yeah, I did maybe a year ago because I make a lot of content about dating and I guess there's a lot of conversation about how women should act on dates, maybe how men should act on dates, who does what, who pays, how do you split the bill. And I remember making a skit about if girls were honest on dates and it was kind of like making conversation about like, oh, you don't look like your profile picture. Like if we could actually say the things that we thought. And I thought it was funny. And I wasn't trying to be too mean. But, I talked about like pretending to get your wallet and not paying. And the character that I was playing wasn't my perspective, right? Like I will split a bill on a date. But some of the comments were like, this is really tone deaf, like talking about like what a woman should be on a date, and like, yeah, those kind of tricky conversations around height, around looking like your profile picture, catfishing, splitting the bill, and kind of like the comments and the conversation that was happening. I was like, oh, maybe I just presented this in the wrong way because I was just trying to make fun of those girls, maybe. And so I remember taking the video down because I was like, I am not prepared to deal with this conversation. I know that they're not attacking me, but because I was playing this character, it felt like they were. So I remember taking that video down. And so since then I've been like more kind of conscious about how I play the comedy because comedy is always at the expense of someone, really.
Yes.
Most of the time I try to make it of me.
Yes.
But sometimes I'll be making fun of other people and they can get offended.
Yeah, I guess when you veer into social commentary.
Yes.
That's a different, and as someone myself, like a lot into social commentary and political commentary, that is prone to a lot more different opinions and backlash. But when you are emulating things, as you said, you've spent a whole lot, of time emulating inanimate objects.
Yes.
Far less likely to hurt the feelings of an office chair
Yeah.
or a piece of bread.
Or a water bottle. Yeah, she's hurt. She's there, the hate comments.
Now that the most important part of your bingo card has been stamped,
Yes.
what next for you?
I would really like to write something. I'm very excited about Australian content, obviously. And like, yes, it has always been a dream of mine to be an actor. I feel like we're slowly getting more content made, especially with the streaming platforms, but I'd really like to write kind of an ensemble show for women, kind of like a Sex and the City or Girls, but in Australia, because I don't really feel like we've had that. I think that Heartbreak High was like really great, but it's for the Gen Z audience. I was like, where's the millennial content for this generation? Maybe for the women in their 30s who don't quite have their shit together, don't know where they're going in life. Maybe one of them's trying for a baby and she's having fertility issues. Another one's like just had a major breakup and identity crisis, a career woman. But I just feel like there's space for kind of a comedy show about women, you know, like that classic four women friendship group. If I think about it, I don't see there being one in Australia.
No, I don't. And I reckon the best thing you can do is pretend you really don't want it.
Apparently, I don't really want it.
And tell your agent.
Here's the script, but I don't want it. I don't want it. But I've written about it. Don't give it to me. I don't want it at all. And maybe it'll happen. So yeah, I'd really like to write the show and then obviously be in it. That's, I guess, my next kind of bingo card stamp.
Well, watch this space. I can't wait to see what you produce this year.
Thank you so much.
Actress and influencer Maddy MacRae. It's my favourite time of the week, and I hope it's your favourite time of the week too, because it's Weekend List. It's where I get to hang out with Helen Smith and find out what she has been watching, listening to, discovering, everything in between. Helen, what have you got?
My first recommendation is nothing crazy new, but I've been using it in a new way, I like to think. It's the Countdown Days app. Do you remember you have those countdown apps on your phone that count down to how many days to an important event? Have you ever used that?
No, I don't
know.
Well, okay. So it's new to me entirely.
New to you.
Okay.
Well, I'm showing you on my phone right now.
Okay.
But they're a countdown app and you make them into a widget on your phone. So they pretty much turn into like a big looking app and they count down numbers of days to an important event.
Okay.
To get you excited or to, you know, get you ready for something. And what I've been using them for is as mini goals. So if I want to run 5Ks, you can put it in your app and be like 30 days until you run 5 kilometers or 14 days until you have to do something important. So you can use them in a different way instead of counting down to like an event or a wedding or something like that. Use it in like mini goals. So you can be like, I really, really want to, I don't know, be able to do the splits or stretch properly or do something so you can count down.
Or not drink for 7 days.
Yeah,
which
drink.
I keep trying to do that. Just like don't have a glass of wine for 7 days.
Yes, and you could just have a little app. Like have a little like 7 days until you can do that or 7 days until you've reached your goal.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I've been using it for. Mini
like
goal
that.
setting, because I find big goal setting can be quite overwhelming. If you do shorter goals, just plan a month at a time, 3 months at a time, then it's way more achievable and you feel less overwhelmed with yourself.
That's really good. And I think I need that not for just for goal setting, but to not forget things, because lately I've had so many different things on and I've turned up on the wrong day, either a day before or a day after.
Oh, no.
And so, I've done that like 3 times in the last month. So I still turn up, just not on the right time.
Just not the right time.
Or the right day.
You need the app.
I need the app. Okay, well, you did mention running. So that is one of my recommendations. So the last time I spoke about running, gosh, how we grow and evolve on this podcast, I spoke about how one of my favourite things to do is to sit and watch people on this popular running route, how they run, because it's so funny. Well, the variety, not everybody. Like some people just look like they're floating on air. It looks amazing. Other people look like,
you're like, you're going to pop your kneecap out there.
And so I just love to watch it. I find it quite entertaining. Horrible of me, but it is a new year. It is a new me. This is a better Antoinette. I've actually started running. I never thought I would because I don't enjoy it at all.
I never thought you would either.
No,
so
especially because I've been like throwing so much shade at runners.
Yes, I know.
So I started it. And this woman who's a friend of mine, we're pretty new friends. Like we became like running friends, social media friends. So she was like, she runs marathons and she's crazy. Just for fun, she runs 30Ks. So I was like, you're insane.
That is insane.
She's like, I'll take you for your first run. And on my first run, she made me run 5Ks. Never run in my life before. So I did to be fair, 4Ks.
Oh,
And that
Still.
Yeah, but I ran 2K. She gave me a 30-second breather. Then I had to turn around and run another. Would never have done it. Within 4 weeks, she had me running 7Ks.
Oh my God.
That's
good.
You know, but constantly by my side going, you know, like tighten your core, stop wobbling your head. You know, your arms are too, and just like talking to me.
Actually giving you technique and correcting it.
And I think that's really important. She goes, I can tell you're tired because you're swinging with your hips, you're going to hurt your back. And I think not everybody is fortunate enough to have a mate who is like a diehard runner who's happy to run with you. But I do suggest that if you're going to start running, try and do it with somebody who's quite experienced, because you can be prone to injury or just giving up. We went running yesterday and I swear I was in a bad kind of mental space, and I in my mind I stopped 100 times. Like I wanted to stop 100 times, but I didn't. Yeah. Because she was there and she was pushing me. And yes, you feel great afterwards and all of that other stuff that runners say. You do, you know, I did get into that post-run high. And so I apologise to all of the people I laughed at because of their running style.
Yeah, good. Also, another way that if you don't have a running friend is joining a run club as well, because there's beginners run clubs for everything and there's always experienced runners in there.
Oh, are there? Okay.
Yeah, so
all right, well, that's another way to do it.
Google a local run club or a park run in your area as well.
Yeah, there's lots of groups running and stuff. Yeah. So anyway, basic thing that everybody can do and that I've started to do, and it's free.
My next recommendation is something that I think has elevated my look entirely when it comes to makeup. Mm-hmm. Again, I am not a makeup professional, which is probably anyone who like is good at makeup is going to think, oh, God, girl. But it's just adding brown eyeliner to the bottom waterline of your eye after you've done like a full face of makeup or even just a little bit. Yeah. And started to do it at night. And it seriously defines my whole eye. It changes my whole look when I do it. And it just makes me look way like elevated almost. Yeah. And I just got a brown eyeliner from Mecca for $16. And I'm just like, why haven't I been doing this again? Like,
yeah, it just pops your eye out.
It pops your eye out in the best way.
Yeah, look, as someone with an Arabic background, like Arabic speaking background, who I dare say invented kahl or kahli, which is like the black eyeliner.
Mm-hmm. And also the clean girl look.
Do we do the clean girl look?
Yeah, the clean girl look is the clean girl makeup. It's this whole thing. I'll tell you about
I have no
it.
idea. Okay. Well, I don't know anything cool and contemporary, but what I do know is eyeliner because we use a lot of it. And yes, I mean, I use black, not brown, because of the colour of my lashes
I'm
and
a bit
stuff.
fairer, so brown works.
On the inside, as long as you don't get irritated. If you have sensitive eyes, it's quite annoying.
Yeah,
but it does. It makes your eyes really pop.
It does.
And I probably recommend it for nights, not during
nighttime. It's a nighttime look. It's not a daytime look.
I know there are going to be some people listening going, okay, like 101 makeup technique.
Sorry.
But, you know, it's new to us. And it might be new to you.
Yeah, totally. So for anyone who's not great at makeup like me, that's a good little tip you can do.
Okay, and what's the clean girl look?
The clean girl look is like the slick back kind of hair, but like minimal makeup, but like it's pretty much that when this trend was going around, all the white girls were like adopting it, and it's like, oh, clean girl makeup, and it's just minimal makeup, nice eyebrows, nice eyeliner, and nothing too cakey and crazy.
Yeah, so just kind of the natural look.
Yeah, but it was just a clean girl look, but it was really just what like Lebanese, Indian women like been doing forever, and it's just that kind of style of makeup.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Clean girl look. I've probably been rocking it and didn't even know it.
Yeah.
You too can rock the clean girl look or any look you like. And you know what? We want to hear what you have been enjoying. Every week, Helen and I come and share our tips. Some are new, some we've just discovered. And we really want to know what you're doing. What are you watching? What are you doing with your eyes? What are you eating? What are you listening to? What are you enjoying? Nothing is too simple or wacky. We want to hear it because we need some inspiration too. And the best way to do that is to send us a message on Instagram, and we're going to collate your recommendations. We're going to go and try them, and we will promise to report back. Okay, that is it for this week. Thank you so much for being with us and tuning in. It is always a pleasure. If you want more of the weekend briefing, you can find us on the Listener app. Download the Listener app in the App Store and follow us there. Otherwise, follow or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts from. And while you're at it, why not give us your thoughts on this chat with Maddy MacRae? You can rate and review every episode if you're so inclined. The team will be back on Monday morning where they'll have the latest headlines straight to your headphones, along with fascinating deep dives. Stay safe, everyone. Catch you next week. listener.